Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, BAT. This will be a cold start and test drive video of this 94 GMC Jimmy going up for auction. Several members have requested a cold start and driving video, which we'll be doing for you today. Vehicle has not been started for over a week. Starts right up. Let it just idle for a moment. Looks like the AC is already on. Go ahead and release the brake. We'll get started. This is the first Jimmy of this generation we've actually ever sold here. I don't have too much experience with these, but was very pleasantly surprised on how nice this vehicle drives and how smooth it is. I would say it's quite different than many of its competitors, like the Ford Explorer, the Jeep Grand Cherokee. Those feel like a heavier vehicle. When you drive this thing just feels more effortless. Feels a lot lighter than those vehicles when you're driving it. Transmission shifts are just about as smooth as butter. V6 engine has very good power. Coming up on a red light here as we apply our brakes. There's no shaking or shimmying on the brake pedal. No shaking or shimmying on the steering wheel, and no shaking or shimmying on the chassis of the vehicle. Nothing that would indicate any warpage of the brakes or rotors. Vehicle idles real smooth. Air conditioning is blowing ice cold. Best way I could describe how this car feels, it feels like a 1980s Oldsmobile or GM vehicle. Like a Cadillac of that era. It's just really smooth. It actually quite surprises you. It doesn't feel like a truck or SUV. The transmission shifts are so smooth you barely even feel them. Through the twists and turns, it feels nice and stout. You feel confident. You don't get excessive amounts of leaning. Don't get excessive amounts of bouncing. Going over 60 miles per hour now. Also not hearing any whistling sounds from any wind, no excessive road noise, and no creaks or rattles or squeaks. It's got that typical GM fuel gauge that fluctuates a little bit as you accelerate or decelerate. It's a real nice driving vehicle. This next stretch of road we're going to make a right turn on has a lot of rough surfaces, potholes, and uneven pavement, and I oftentimes take vehicles on this stretch of road to try to get a feel for the suspension. There's excessive amount of wear and tear on the upper or lower control arms, ball joints, tie rod ends, sway bar links. Typically we'll feel movement or clunking on this section of road. And this truck feels really well put together. I'm not even getting any rattles or squeaks or vibrations from the rear hatch, from the doors. Weather stripping is sealing the interior of the vehicle quite nicely. And although you feel the rough surfaces and bumps on the road, it is not jarring and you don't seem to mind it. It also does not have a disconnected feel to the road. You feel them, you feel these bumps, but they don't seem to bother you. I'll do a 0 to 60 acceleration pull going up this street, which is an incline, while we have our AC blasting. Going up a hill, putting maximum load on the car. Start off at a 0 mile per hour. 3, 2, 1, and go. About 60% throttle, 70% throttle, 80% throttle. Before you know it. Go ahead and slow down to a safe speed. really smooth and pleasant. Does not pull to the left or the right. Tires feel nice and balanced. No shaking or shimmying or vibration at any speed. Appears to be a nice, softly used vehicle. Pull into the parking lot here, kind of demonstrate the turning radius for you. This is going to be a pretty tight U-turn here. A really great turning radius. I would say a turning radius that far exceeds what you would get from a modern vehicle. Perhaps the short wheelbase is partially accountable for such a great turning radius, but quite impressive. Power steering feels real smooth. You don't feel or hear any hiccups, vibrations, moans, or groans. And just a really easy vehicle to drive. Shockingly easy vehicle to drive. Not what you would expect. At least not for me, since I've never had one of these. Make someone a great vehicle. You're gonna get comments, thumbs up, honks anywhere you take this thing. Every time I've taken it out, I've gotten comments on it. It's a conversation piece for sure. Vitals of the vehicle look great. Temperature always stays within range. Oil pressure's good even now that the vehicle's warmed up. Battery gauge, all the gauges are working. And good luck with the auction, folks. Happy bidding. Take care.